What's up, guys? This is the Elusive Crew here, and we just got done watching the Xbox E3 press conference. I'm Hunter.
I'm Cody.
I'm Kinston.
And we're going to talk a little bit about what we just saw. So when the show first started up, they jumped right into the game, I think. So that's a good thing to see, that they
weren't
all these
wasting
games.
any time at all.
Yeah. So I think one of the most big thing they had was Gears 5.
Between that or Halo.
Gears 5 and Halo, they made the biggest deal.
Gears was probably made into just a little bit more thing, because Halo was kind of mixed in with the Xbox Scarlet project, I would say.
Right.
But what did they even start off at? I have such a terrible memory.
It was I know one of the first games they showed was Ori.
Ori and the Will of the
games.
Wisps. Yeah. I don't think that was the first one.
It wasn't the first one.
It was one of the first ones. What was the first one?
I can't even remember.
I can't remember either.
The first big game was Cyberpunk 2077.
They did show that.
They brought Keanu Reeves out, man. That was some crazy stuff. And they put him in the game too. I'm not sure if he's like John Wick in the game, or if he's a different character, or if he's just gonna be Keanu or what. But
that was a badass one.
John Wick in Cyberpunk. That's gonna be crazy. I mean, I was already excited for Cyberpunk 2077 to begin with. I mean, the 48-minute trailer that they showed last year at E3 had me sold immediately.
Yeah.
And just for them to add this on top of that and all the extra shit that you see is just...
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely. But would you argue that fans were more excited to see Keanu than they were about the game?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. They literally holy shit, celebrity.
Yeah.
They knew shit was real at that point.
It was definitely a good collaboration between the two, because everybody in America pretty much knows who Keanu Reeves is.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
John Wick is top of the chart movies, so...
Arguably. Not that I'm saying it's bad, but if you look at the actual movie charts, it's in-game at this point.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What was I going to say? One of the other games that I saw was it Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings?
It was... So, From Software has teamed up, or George R.R. Martin has teamed up with From Software to bring... What is that game called? I want to say Elden Ring is what it's called, right?
Yeah.
So From Software, obviously being the creator of the Soulsborne series, I don't really. I'm wondering if they're gonna do something similar to where it's like create your character, create your class, and then go out into the world and try to do whatever it happens to be out there. That'd be cool. But then they just released what is that game with the cybernetic zombie arm that just came out with the samurai thing. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I can't remember.
It's something Shadows Die Twice.
Oh.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Yeah. So on that one, you don't create your character or anything. You play as this specifically one person. And I read somewhere that there's gonna be like 3 to 4 different classes of like mage, warrior, or like rogue type thing, which that'll still be cool. But I've always loved the create a character style games. I think that'd be pretty crazy. But it still looked pretty cool for what it was or what it could be to me. I'll definitely end up getting it for sure. Personally, I don't know what y'all thought of it, but
what was your top game that you saw?
Probably Cyberpunk 2077. I gotta give it credit. Yeah. It looks fantastic. I mean, it's been years in the works. I think it's gonna be an incredible, probably a masterpiece for gaming, for sure. CD Projekt Red, I mean, they've already made incredible games before. I think they continue their legacy through Cyberpunk 2077.
And then one thing I noticed about it was that the release date was 4 something, right? Next year.
4/16/2020. So April 16th.
Which means it's not going to be next gen.
Nope.
No, I think...
Because...
it'll probably be released for next gen as well whenever that comes out, but...
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
I mean, we did talk about that on the podcast.
But just in my mind, what I've been seeing, all the graphics they've shown so far, we haven't seen the new gameplay yet. Right. I don't know if they're going to show the gameplay later at a different show or their own event, you know what I mean? Because I think I remember somebody talking about they were going to show gameplay.
They were supposed to, I'm pretty sure.
But we didn't see that here.
No.
So, it might turn
Or maybe we did and we just didn't know it. Maybe that was all in-game.
Was that the actual in-game footage? I mean,
because the in-game footage, I don't think it was. It was definitely, there was something cinematic about it, but the in-game footage does not look very far off from that from what we saw last year.
Right. I'm just wondering if it's not next gen, how are they going to pull it off to where it's this massive open city to the scale of what we've seen in that gameplay demo?
They could do something like what Horizon Zero Dawn did, which is like they created this, I'll say an element for lack of a better word, where the only thing that exists per se in the game is whatever your camera is facing and focused on. So like everything else disappears and re-renders as you face the camera to it, which allows for so much more higher quality details because it's not trying to render everything else in the background that you're not even seeing.
Mm-hmm.
They might take that approach to it. I mean, I personally have no idea.
I've done that with the game editor before, like where you just split your level even into like separate spots. And
Yeah.
as soon as you get to a certain spot that you can't tell, it'll load in the next scene
Right.
and then delete the one you just left from.
Yeah.
So that's why most games have like these big doors you fucking go through. Like God of War, every time you open one of them doors, it just loads the whole new fucking thing.
They did something similar to that with, I know we're kind of getting off topic from E3 this year, but with Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man for PS4, they did with, you can see, it was one of the towers you can see, not the Avengers Tower or anything, but it was one of just like a regular hotel or something, where it was a part cutscene, part in-game footage, and it's just all about working the camera angles around and like rendering stuff as other stuff is playing in the background. That'd be pretty crazy. I'm still trying to think of that first game they brought out, because it was pretty decent, I think. When E3. Do I have to look it up?
I can't remember what the first game was.
I'll look it up.
I do know there was an exciting game
What's that?
that I'm looking forward to as of now. Crossfire X.
Yeah, that game looks freaking crazy.
I mean, it was mostly cinematic, and it didn't really show what it was about. But
Just that.
it sold me with the music.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw like the tacticals, like I said, as soon as the trailer came on, I was like, all right, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Like you just see, from badasses with beards and tactical equipment. That's what sold me on Wildlands. That's what sold me on Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That's what sold me on what is it called, Crossfire X.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of a modern day Arma, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's not already on PC?
What?
That Crossfire X?
It's possible because it said that it was coming first to console on Xbox, so it could be on PC already and just coming to console.
I haven't heard of it.
I haven't either. That's why I was asking.
What was the very first game?
I'm
looking it up.
I might be able to just go back to it, to be honest.
Because it came out and they just jumped right into it. And it was a relatively decent looking game. I don't remember.
I didn't think it was a very big game.
I don't remember. That's the thing. I never remember that. That's not it.
No, that's not it, but y'all, did you see that game? Because that was 12
That was
minutes.
pretty crazy.
It definitely looks like a hell of a thriller game.
Yeah.
It'd keep you on your feet the whole
Completely.
time.
I mean, it's supposed to be completely interactive, so. About a man stuck in a time loop.
Wait, is it still there? Let's say. And then I can about a man trapped in time loop. If you didn't know. Let's see if we can't get back to the beginning here. Where the fuck's the
Windows.
There's not even a time thing, is there? Huh.
Well.
Okay, I can't pause it either.
Well.
Goodbye, Xbox. But yeah, there was also this random game about a deer. It's like kind of like an open world deer game.
Into the woods or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And, I mean, it definitely looked like a different approach on a game for sure. Something I've never played before. Yeah, it'd probably be more appealing to the younger audience.
For sure.
But it looked really good, like art wise and everything like that.
It was its own kind of thing,
Yeah.
for sure.
These articles don't have anything at all.
Are you excited for what they're going to premiere at Bethesda?
Potentially.
I
We
mean,
know that there's not going to be much on Elder Scrolls 6 as of right now, obviously. That was terrible.
Well, surely they'll show more on it than they did last year.
You think?
Well, I would
should.
think,
They
yeah.
still have 76 to fix and show their roadmap for that, or at least updated roadmap for that, because they apparently.
I would
haven't
trash
all-
that game.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't.
done.
You can't.
Nobody's gonna
They're
nobody's gonna want to
still
play it
trying to
again.
update it and fix it.
Nobody's gonna
Todd
want to play it.
Howard specifically said before the game even came out, he knew it was going to be broken at launch. I mean, I don't know if that says anything about the development, but that's that. But Bethesda has always really, in my opinion, had something broken in their games that they've later come back and tried to fix. And if this is any sort of, whether it's a cash grab or they have actual passion for this game, they're going to try to fix it, because regardless of what it is, it's going to keep money flowing in if it's worth anything. They have that to go through. They have Elder Scrolls Blades on mobile, which is apparently just as much of a cash grab with microtransactions. And they also have Starfield to go through, which that should be their next big title before Elder Scrolls 6. So ES6 is years and years away. They're thinking, I'm thinking probably 2021, 2022 release.
Do you think we'll see any games that we haven't seen anything about yet?
From Bethesda specifically?
Yep.
I'm not gonna say no. I mean, it's possible.
They have their few main titles that they work up to, but they'll probably show a couple smaller projects, even possibly mobile games, random features. They always seem like they show a lot of just random clips of things that aren't necessarily a game. It's just the idea of their business, of how they do everything. So I'm not sure. Was there any other big games we missed off of the talking about Xbox here? I mean, mostly Gears 5, Halo, Cyberpunk. Forza has a new.
I think that looks pretty cool personally. It's because with what was the last Forza Horizon 3 or 4?
Well, it must have been 4, and that was DLC.
It might be. It's got to be it because they had the. I want to say it might have been Forza Horizon 3 that had the Hot Wheels tracks DLC.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff like that with Forza, and just to bring Legos into it, if it still has the physics of the actual vehicles, I think that'll be really cool personally, because you have full customization of it and everything else still. And then now it's Lego, so it's kind of like a kickback to the nostalgic days in with the regular stuff. And it being Forza, they're going to have the actual game of Forza. I mean, they showed a switch back and forth between regular cars and the Lego cars in the trailer. So I think it's just a really cool, fun add-on for what Forza already is.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find out. Did it open with Minecraft? That Minecraft,
No, but there was Minecraft Dungeons.
Minecraft Dungeons. That looks really cool, I think.
I mean, it's definitely different. It'll probably come to mobile as well, by the looks of it.
It looked like it had more content than the standard game.
I haven't played Minecraft in a long time.
Well,
there was a major update to it, though.
I mean, it's mostly just a dungeon crawler, by the looks of it, But it's cool that they put survival elements in there and so you can craft stuff and everything like that.
I thought it was
And it definitely would be a fun multiplayer game. That's for sure.
Is the first video?
Trying to think.
The first video that they showed was The Outer Worlds. That's what this. I mean, I'm literally just rewatching the conference. It was The Outer Worlds. They showed a trailer for that. I'm really excited for that game personally.
Really?
I think it'll be. I mean, it's got Fallout style stuff. It's made by Obsidian Games, which they made Fallout New Vegas, which is arguably one of the best and worst received Fallout games in the series. I didn't really play a whole lot of that, but this has a different vibe to it, where it's just all corporations taking over the different planets and everything. It's not entirely open world. It's like you have this main hub, which is your ship, and then you select a planet to travel to, kind of like Destiny and stuff.
Yeah.
It's similar to that, but then once you're there, it's just all the regular decision-making, choice-style gameplay, where you can, like they said, you could be a good guy, you could be a bad guy, you could be a psychopath. It's basically like Fallout without being Fallout, in a sense.
Yeah, I could tell, it looks like Fallout in a way. It's just their own take on it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the trailer they showed really impressed me.
Did you all see how similar the power armor was in the Outer Worlds compared to actual Fallout?
I did notice that a little bit. I also noticed the wait, was that? I think that might have been a different game. I think that might have been Bleeding Edge. Where was it in Outer Worlds where that mech came up, or was that Bleeding Edge? I'm pretty sure that was Bleeding Edge, where the person just shape-shifted into a mech, kind of like Diva or whatever from
Yeah,
Overwatch.
I think you're right.
That game looked pretty cool. It was definitely a unique style. One thing I definitely noticed about that, being someone who has stretched ears, one of the characters on there has just massive well, not like massive, because I've seen some pretty big stretched ears, but one of the characters on there, she's got stretched ears, and it was just for me personally, it's so good to finally see developers bringing that feature. It's such a common thing to see nowadays. Like, just make characters have an alternative look.
Yeah.
They're bringing the LGBTQ plus into it, which I think that's really cool. You know, everybody can express themselves through video games now instead of being straight male hero of the past. Which, being a straight male, I mean, that's still cool for me, but that's not everybody's game style or gameplay that they want to see. And just for them to bring everything into games now is just really cool, I think.
There was a Dragon Ball Z game.
I wasn't-
Personally, it speaks to me, since that's just what I grew up. I grew up with that.
Yeah, the main thing that I remember from
Kakarotto!
Yeah, it was like-
because they used the original Japanese voices.
yeah,
Yeah, that shit was
and they
funny.
said Goku, and it was like Goku. I was like, okay, but it was still pretty cool
Yeah,
to see.
it didn't really match up what was going on the screen.
because I'm used to the westernized American voices
Yeah.
where it's like really deep manly voices, and they're like using the original voice actors,
Yeah.
like you said, or whatever. And I mean, it still looked really cool. It reminded me of what was that game that they just brought a bunch of manga and everything together and
Jump Force.
yeah, it reminded me of that. That's what I thought it was at first, and then it was just exclusively Dragon Ball, and I was like, alright, well, we can do this. I haven't played Dragon Ball. The last time I played it was whenever we played it literally at your house. Like, I don't even know how long ago that was.
What got me about it was there at the end. I mean, it looked like a regular Dragon Ball game where you just fight whatever. They might have like a campaign or something, but there at the end it actually was called what's it, Project Z or something. And it said it was going to be an MMO.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So
What was coming out September 10th?
September 10th. That's a stretch for me. There's a lot, I mean...
It was one of the more major games.
what was it?
this year?
Yeah.
What was
What was that? This is difficult.
it? This year?
It was Gears 5, wasn't it? I
No,
think
Gears
so.
5's not coming out this year, is it?
I think it was Gears 5.
What?
I think so.
Let me look this up. If Gears 5 is coming out, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but
Yeah, I believe that was it.
you might be right.
They haven't showed gameplay yet on it, have they?
They just showed the escape gameplay.
Oh. No, that wasn't even gameplay.
That was that
Yeah,
was-
you're right. It was a trailer, a cinematic.
It was a cool trailer though.
I thought it was really.
They definitely spent money on that.
Yeah, you're right. It was Gears 5. It got a September release date, so September 10th, I guess. That's pretty cool. Yep, September 10th, 2019.
So
By
they're
IGN.
taking this year. They're gonna say Gears is gonna run this year, and Halo's gonna get next.
Halo is definitely, yeah. I don't know if it. So since Halo's coming out next year and holiday of next year, does that mean that the Xbox Scarlet will be out next year?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be released along with it,
Yeah,
right?
it's-
Yeah, they're
Gonna be
both
fun.
holiday release next year.
Well, there's $500 to $700 down the drain, and by down the drain, I mean a fantastic investment for Halo fans.
But now, see, this comes to this. They've been talking so much about PC.
Yeah,
Literally, they had a big thing about PC on
yeah,
here.
they
'cause
have Xbox Game Pass PC now
yeah. Why not Halo on PC?
because I don't have a PC.
I do.
I don't
Why
live
wouldn't
here.
they? They just brought the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, including Halo Reach.
And then you wouldn't have to buy a console if you already had a PC.
But I
Maybe
don't.
they'll do the same kind of
But
thing
I don't,
Rockstar
is what I'm
does.
saying.
Maybe they'll do the same kind of thing that Rockstar does with their games, their titles. They release them on console first. And then-
If I was a business,
Bring
I
it
would
to
do
PC.
that to make more
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, it would make sense.
I mean, because there's always going to be the person that's going to buy it on both console and PC.
Right.
So play it on console for a while and then play it on PC. That's what a lot of people do with GTA 5, like you said.
A lot of titles are being Xbox Play Anywhere nowadays. So.
Yeah. You
Kinda
can get
just in
Xbox
between.
Live on the Switch now.
Can you?
Yes.
I did
Xbox
not know
Live
that.
is playable via the Nintendo Switch.
Huh.
But with all of the, I'm surprised they didn't show the streaming stuff where they're teaming up with PlayStation because the new Call of Duty's coming out and it's complete cross-platform play for
Really?
PlayStation and Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah,
They,
I didn't know
I think he was gone for a minute. They did talk a little bit about their streaming.
Oh, did they? Yeah. I was,
Project X Cloud.
yeah.
Basically, what I got out of I don't really know what they're fully talking about. I haven't researched it, but I'm assuming it's going to be like one of the services that they already have, where their computers and stuff are running the games, and you can just stream it to your console in like full quality, max FPS. It don't matter what you got. And
There would always be the risk of lag there, though, wouldn't it? Like,
internet. It runs on internet.
I guess it would depend on your internet
Right.
connection. So
But yeah, they already. There's one called like Shadow something, or maybe it's just called Shadow. I see it on Facebook all the time.
because it's supposed to be rivaling the Google Azure or something like that.
But here's the other cool thing about that. Theoretically, let's say we had decent internet, which we don't. Shitternet. But anyways, so theoretically, if you're paying, you could pay $10 or like $7.99 a month for this service, and you could start playing a game right now. And you
Yeah.
don't even have to download it.
Right.
Just start playing it right now.
That'd be the way to go. The thing that really made me happy to finally see is the Game Pass Ultimate Edition that they did, which is Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Live Gold, and PC Game Pass all in one bundle for only $5 more than you're paying for.
I want
Gold
to say Xbox Live used to be $15 at one time.
now. It probably did. I know it used to be like it jumped up to $60 a year, which that was
Yeah.
like the cheapest way to go because otherwise you're gonna be paying $120 to $150 for monthly. But So-
what games did we forget?
what games did we forget?
I know Cyberpunk isn't Xbox exclusive, but I feel like they brought it out too early.
What do you mean?
Like the rest of the show was just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was
It
thinking.
kind
I
of
was like-
dropped off and then just wrote it on out.
Right.
Well, I mean, it was, it gave you a little spike or something, and they still later on they come in with Halo and Gears.
There were a lot of world premieres.
They wanted Halo and Gears to be the end because they knew Cyberpunk would take it all anyways. If that was the case.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, plus Halo and Gears are Xbox exclusive.
Cyberpunk just
titles.
has so much hype behind it at this point. And I think I don't think it's gonna be disappointing.
I hope not, because I'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
If it is, if it's disappointing, I'll be disappointed. But I don't think it will be. Like I said, CD Projekt Red has been.
Yeah.
They've made absolutely amazing titles thus
Yeah.
far. So, but there were a lot of world premieres. I mean, a lot. I don't remember there being that many last
There
year.
was over 60 games shipped.
Yeah,
Didn't you say there was like over 120 like actually in development though?
they've been teaming up with a lot of indie companies. So that's why I was pointing at you during the time we watched.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, get a hold of them. But I don't really. I know that one game where you build the boat. What is it called? The one, the one that you said. What was it? I don't remember what you said now. But
Peter Pan.
yeah,
Yeah.
Peter Pan.
I just seen the green hat. And I was like,
Yeah, it looks pretty cool for what it is. I mean, I thought it was cool. It's a little side scroll. It kind of reminds me of Terraria in a way, but on a boat and different.
I would definitely say that Ori game.
Or
What was it?
Will of the Wisps.
Dude, I mean, just like the art in that game.
Yeah,
it's
it looks
fucking
really
amazing.
cool. It kind of the trailer stressed me out because it was
Yeah,
like something's chasing you
it
at all
was
times,
serious,
and I was like,
it was
oh,
serious.
good lord, this is all like specific movement based stuff because you had the little like whoosh thing, that ability, whatever that happened to be. But apparently people have been waiting for that for a very long time now.
Yeah.
So it looks really cool. It looks like they've been taking their time working on it and getting everything right. But I don't know what else. What else is there? We should have a list.
Man,
We never
probably
have
should.
lists.
But if we can't remember it now at this point, it must not have been too exciting.
Or we just have terrible memories.
Plenty of indie titles.
Definitely, there's an abundance of indie titles
Yeah.
for sure, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
Because it was before it was like,
It's always just your blockbuster games.
yeah,
And then the small studios don't get a chance to like sell their games.
yeah.
Guys, thanks for tuning in and listening to us talk a little bit about Microsoft's E3 press conference, and thanks for Kinston for joining us today. And we're gonna head over to Bethesda's conference next and put some coverage on that.